Greetings, this is the Instrument Sidekick video for the French horn, page 14, valve maintenance. Page 14, valve maintenance. Alright, so, your valves. They eventually won't go up and down as quick, and that means it needs a little oil. It only needs to be oiled when it needs to be oiled, okay? When you're having trouble getting it to come back up, then it's time to oil it. Don't worry about oiling it other than that. It's just like your parents' car. They don't they put gas in it frequently, but they don't put oil in it literally every time they go to the gas station. You only take care of the oil once in a while when it's needed. So same thing with the French horn. Don't overdo it. Now you'll have some you might have a different brand in mind, but you have some valve oil hopefully. Remember, this stuff is not safe for you to drink. Don't put it in your mouth. Don't put it in your eyes. It's not good for you. It will stain your pants or rug if it gets on such things. So make sure to avoid that. Also, once the lid is off, if you squeeze it, all it takes is just a little squeeze and boom, this stuff comes right out. So don't be looking at it, because if you mistakenly squeeze it or something, it could get in your eyes or your mouth. Don't aim it at others, and don't even pretend to do that, because if you do mistakenly get it in their eyes or mouth, you will regret it. Not worth that, okay? We're trusting you that you're old enough that you know how to handle us giving you something like oil and to act responsibly with it. All right. Now, obviously, you got to get the lid off. Now, most brands, you just turn the lid off and you take that off. If you have a brand like mine, you got to take this little red safety feature thing here. You got to pull it down just a little bit as you take that off. All right. So you do that ahead of time and you kind of sit that down. Then, I suggest taking your mouthpiece out and putting it in the case. Okay. So you don't have to worry about it falling down as you're taking care of this. It also might make sense to, over your garbage can, empty a little water, just in case there's a little there. Now, you take whichever valve. You don't have to oil all your valves all the time, okay? Just whatever valve is needed. You're probably going to be the first one here, because right now that's all the notes you know so far are only involving this first valve going up and down. All right, so you take that one. You press that down, and the key up here that you can, this little tuning slide, they call it, for the first valve, you press this down and you pull this out, okay? And then you set this aside. Then you take your oil, and then over a garbage can, all right, so over a garbage can, put a little oil, just a few drops there and a few drops there on each one of those. Put your oil down, and then while you keep it this way, work in that oil by moving this valve up and down, and okay, like so. Then, just like I taught you in the water key, or the water video, where it's not spit, you have water in there, right? Same thing that you did there. You put this here, up, and in. All right? And then you're good. All right? That's what you normally should do to really get it in here. Now, it is possible if you're in the middle of a band rehearsal and you're in a real rush, there's a kind of a quick way that isn't as good and might not last as long, but also next to the valve that you might be having trouble with is this little round cap here. You can unscrew that cap, taking that off and setting that down, and you can put a little oil, there's a little hole right here, put a little oil around there, work it in, and put this on if you don't want to take the time to, there, now it's screwed on, okay? So if you don't want to take the time to have to be pulling this out and doing all that work in the middle of a rehearsal, that's a kind of a quick way. It'll work well enough for that rehearsal, but then later on when you're practicing, see if you can do it the more proper way. Then you don't forget to put that cap back on, okay? I've had a lot of students forget about that or not put it on all the way tight, and then oil gets all over the place in their case, okay? So make sure that you put that cap back on. Then don't forget to put your mouthpiece back on before you try and play, because obviously it doesn't work without a mouthpiece, right? So don't forget to put the mouthpiece back on and then continue to practice. All right, so that is how you take care of your valves. May the force be with you.